Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Just continuing the theme that George mentioned about difficult situations and experiences. I've got to say I've always had a great sympathy for stand-in speakers or stand-ins in general, and you'll probably recognise the scenario that I paint, that just before the curtain goes up, the MC comes on and says, the part of the senior Scottish Government's civil servant due to be played by Yvonne Strachan is now going to be played by John Mullen. Now, I think the usual response is one of disappointment, where people feel that I really wanted to hear what Yvonne was going to say, to one then of feeling a bit shortchanged that if he's good, why is he not on the bill at the start? So I would ask you to have some sympathy with me as I try to do justice to the billing which I have. While I haven't had the dizzy heights of the Palladium or whatever, I have had considerable experience in terms of public policy and government affairs advice to a number of clients over the last 20, 25 years. That's ranged from FTSE 100 companies, FTSE 250, companies who have their base in other European countries, such as Siemens, local government, the health service, and I was an advisor to the Secretary of State for Scotland and to the First Minister. So I do have some experience in public policy matters, and also in terms of this particular issue of greater participation. I've been very pleased to be working with George and the team over the last number of months, looking at where we can make a difference and how we can facilitate others to make that difference. So what I would like to do in the short time I've got is maybe to broaden the theme that appears on the agenda, the government's priorities, to one of why we decided to have this conference and why we want to engage and to have the conversation involving each and every one of you. First of all, in terms of the pressures and the priorities of the Scottish Government, I think there's a number of key drivers. One is the Community Empowerment Act, where the Scottish Government are committed to greater community participation and to be able to ensure that communities have a much greater say in how service is delivered, and to enhance the community planning process. Now that provides, I think, not only opportunities, but a number of challenges for us all, because I don't know about you, but my experience to date on this is that communities have been caught up on the question of asset transfer without having a look at the wider people issues that underpin that activity. On top of that, we've got a First Minister who is very driven by three main strands of prosperity, fairness, and participation. And in particular, it's around equalities, it's around eradication of poverty. And my view is that volunteering and the whole question of community participation is critical to driving that agenda forward. Also, we have a new Cabinet Secretary having the responsibility moving from John Swinney to Alec Neil. And for those who know Alec, as I have for about the last 30 years, you know that he comes from a very different angle to the one that John Swinney would come from. And he probably demands more on emphasis and delivery than previous incumbents of that role have had. Then we have the thorny question of money, or the lack of it in terms of Scottish Government budgets. And that's going to be something that is going to be around for a considerable period of time. Now again, while there's a downside to that, I think there's also opportunities, because I, certainly from experience, have found that to resolve some of the problems, the underlying problems which are there, it's not a case of throwing money at it. It's about changing cultures, changing values. So I think that provides an opportunity. As George has said, I, along with George, met with Yvonne Strachan just over a week ago. It's quite clear that they are very keen to drive forward the agenda, recognising from the 2014 Scottish Household Survey that more needs to be done, and things might need to be done in a very different way to the way they've been done before. That takes us on then to why today. I think we all watched with great pride the participation by volunteers at the 2014 Glasgow Commonwealth Games. We also saw the voluntary input on both sides of yes and no during the referendum. But we felt that given that growth that we saw just wouldn't be maintained or developed by sitting back and saying these were great occasions, they're going to on their own be the catalyst for growth. So we decided, one, to commission the work that Alan has been doing, and as you will hear in a couple of minutes, some of the issues that have come out of that, I think are very exciting. They're the challenge to us all in what we do, but I think they're very interesting because it comes from the voice of the volunteers themselves. Their good experience, their bad experience, and their desire to move away from a task-orientated volunteering to one that recognises their skills, their talents, their interests. So we've started a conversation. We've met with members of Team Scotland. We met with COSLA, Solace. We've met with the private sector organisations as well, getting their feedback and listening. And I think two key things have come from the conversations that we've had. One is that there's a need for more positive leadership. It shouldn't be left just to the Scottish Government to say, look, this is the policy. It's got to be enabling, and it means that no one organisation, no one body has got the answer. It's very much participation. It's recognising each of us bring something different to the table. So that's why we decided that today would be an opportunity to hear and share with you the results coming from the demonstration project. Does that mean that the work is finished? No, it doesn't. This today, I hope, is going to be a starting point where we hear what's been said, discuss in the panel session where we think an action plan can be established and implemented. And not wishing to preempt things, I would hope that we take away from this event something that is transportable to your organisation so that you're able to reflect on what you're doing, carry out a forensic as to are we doing it right, what we're doing, is it making the change that we need, and what can we all do together to bring about the growth that's necessary. We are committed to a 1% growth year on year, as Alan will talk about, but we can't do it on our own. It's only going to be possible if there's this new partnership, this new network between all of us, and that includes the Scottish Government as well. So hopefully I've added something to the conference. I'm not just seen as a stand-in that had nothing to say. And I look forward, as well as you, to participating in the event today. Thank you very much.
Thank you.